Located north of San Francisco in affluent Marin County, San Rafael has public and private organizations that work to help its homeless population. But because they were separated into silos, well-meaning but desperate stakeholders were not collaborative. This led to competition for federal funds, duplication of services, and inadequate results. In response, the Homeless Outreach Team was launched in 2016 to include many city and county agencies, along with other government agencies such as police, fire, public works, and nonprofit organizations. Despite a history of fierce competition and an overall lack of trust, these organizations began to meet regularly and gradually developed good working relationships. They began to share information, allowing them to better understand the scope of the homeless problem. Developing consolidated databases showed that despite varied services each organization offered, there was still a lack of paths to permanent housing in the city. It also became clear that the existing system was nearly impossible to navigate and had unintentionally created a feedback loop perpetuating chronic homelessness. Though the chronically homeless represent only 21% of the entire homeless population, they are the most likely to suffer from mental illness or substance abuse. The team decided to focus their efforts on housing the chronically homeless in the downtown San Rafael area without preconditions, providing services tailored to those clients with specific needs. This approach vastly differed from most existing programs that required individuals to graduate through a series of steps before they were allowed access to housing. These bureaucratic hurdles meant that the wait for housing in some areas could take up to 720 days. Even temporary housing at emergency shelters often had high barriers, where individuals were required to have an ID, not actively use drugs or alcohol, and had to leave the shelter every morning. In the first 18 months of piloting this approach, San Rafael housed 23 of the most vulnerable and visibly homeless people, many of whom had been on the streets for decades. To learn more, read San Rafael, How Uncommon Stakeholder Alliances Reduced Chronic Homelessness by Sara Beckman in the Berkeley Haas case series.